Okay, so with DMT, I've never been more excited, I've never been more engaged with an area of decentralized technologies. Ordinals lit a huge fire, right, underneath me, in me, whatever you want to call it, because of the things that I suddenly realized we could do on Bitcoin, right? The holy grail, the ability to do it on the most decentralized, greatest market cap, most secure, the dream, this utopia, this super chain. Ordinals was like a massive leg up, and what Casey did was incredible. But since then, we had this, for want of another word, a lull, and we had token standards that were inflexible. So we had BRC20, we have runes, and they've added something to it. Degens, they've had degeneracy, gambling, trading. That's just not me, right? However, when you have things like DMT enabled by platforms like Tap Protocol, you suddenly have this incredibly new toolkit with levers of things that you can pull, ways that you can manipulate these assets, these fully dynamic assets. They can be interactive within, for example, a metaverse paradigm or a gaming paradigm, such as Foxy, shout out Foxy. And levers is a really good way to visualize it. It is quite a complex thing, but actually when you understand the mechanics of it, it's not that difficult because it mirrors the real world. It mirrors matter, physical matter, but just in a digital paradigm, a digital world. In a physical world, we have elements. They're put into a periodic table of elements, and those elements can be used and combined to create substances that literally are everything that we know physically, tangibly can touch, right? So if you look at a table, you look at a chair, you look at a person, you look at anything, it's a combination of different elements created for these substances, hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, three of the most commonly used ones. And this sounds like a mental breakdown, but it isn't. This is legitimately now what is being mapped. But we have to zoom out for a second and look at the track indexer, the track network, a decentralized indexer that gradually is reading all of the data on Bitcoin, but it has to do it in an organized way. So it will do one particular field of a Bitcoin block from the beginning until now, and then it will do another field of data, of which there are many, and it will keep doing that. And so the more information that it has in its database, let's call it, right, in these digital filing cabinets, because Track as an indexer is organizing and managing the data that Bitcoin is not doing, because Bitcoin produces data, it does not manage it. So when you have more fields of Bitcoin indexed, you have more levers for the creator, the artist, the builder to pull, more ways to manipulate and control, manage how a digital asset, a DMT asset, will interact within a set environment. Again, metaverse is a great one, and I've never been massively passionate about the metaverse. Didn't buy any land, none of that Decentraland stuff, none of that sandbox stuff, didn't feel right. And now we understand that to be arbitrary land, that just, two guys in a room could have said, hey, how many pieces of land we're going to sell? 200,000? How much each? This much? Okay, cool, right? That was clearly never going to work, and they were all centralized anyway. So you have, through Track, more data, which means you can see more patterns. Those patterns in DMT theory we call elements. Those elements can be used to create assets in different ways and more complex, interactive, programmable ways. And so when you compare that to tokens that we've had elsewhere, including ordinals, which can be made quite programmable, but they're just not as flexible because the individual asset is static. And if you want to update that individual asset, you need to reinscribe more data on that, which will then just become another static piece of data that, again, can interact within systems, can interact through recursion, but the actual asset is static, whereas a DMT asset is not static. It's not data inscribed on a Satoshi. It is created using JSON, common language, whatever you want to call it. It just means that these are, as of today, more programmable than what you can have with a traditional ordinal or a rune or a BRC20 token. And so this is why I'm so passionate about DMT, because I don't fully understand something again. And we're just at the start of a curve. We're going to see some exponential growth in this area, and we're going to see some exponential innovations in this area, right? These things go hand in hand. Innovation, growth, that's why we're here. And to answer a point that I didn't finish earlier, this is why we aren't seeing growth within BRC20s. We aren't seeing growth within runes, right? Most people are waiting for this bull market, which apparently will just take all of these runes to the moon. Spoiler alert, it won't do that. Some may, the ones that shout the loudest might temporarily, but is there a fundamental value to it? Are they solving any problems? No, it's a meme coin, so honestly, we know how it's going to end, but make a bag if you can, get out when you can. I'm excited about DMT, I'm excited about real innovation, I'm excited about pushing the space forward, I'm excited about builders who have got a time horizon of 5-10 years. Not let's make a bag in the next bull. Make money. I'm not saying don't make money. I'm telling you about me, what I'm passionate about, and why I'm super, as you can probably tell, passionate about DMT, tap protocol, and track, because right now those three things, and of course bitmap, I haven't spoken about bitmap, and that's, I'm probably going to get hate for not mentioning bitmap, but it goes without saying that bitmap is the place that a lot of this development through DMT capabilities, through tap protocol, that's where it's going to be built. So if I'm talking about DMT, I'm also of course bullish on bitmap. That should be a given. That's it.